Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. For those of you who are part of the community, welcome back. It's always nice to have you here. If you are new and you happen to stumble upon my channel, your guides and keepers have brought you here for purpose and to answer some of your questions. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. I hope that you enjoy my energy and that you find the reading fulfilling, or that it meets you on some level that contributes to your journey. My name is High Priestess Elif. I'm a medium and I channel my message. I do read the cards. I know how to read them well, but I do have spirit in my ear and giving me various impressions that I need to interpret. That is my job, to bring you a message and a clear story that serves and does not hinder, that helps you to know how you can best line up with the energies. The reading that I'm doing for you guys is based on your person. Whatever that connection may be for you, the person that you are here seeking answers about. If your person has Gemini in their chart, Sun, Moon or Rising, then this message is very possibly for you. We are looking at your person's energy, what's happening in their lives, and we are answering some questions about you regarding them. So channeling your person's energy. It is a general message, it's a collective reading, not everything's going to fit. So I always ask that you ask your guides and keepers to guide you. Take a few deep breaths, settle into your intuition. Ask your guides to guide you through this reading, to help you to know and to recognize if it is in fact your reading, which parts of the message is for you and which parts is not. If it resonates in your energy, claim it without a doubt. If it doesn't, let it go. It's for someone else. Okay? We are channeling your person's message, male or female, it doesn't matter. If your person is a Gemini, has Gemini in their chart, we often think that the sun sign is the most important. The sun sign is our personality, it's what we show to the outside world, but the moon sign is who we are on the inside. Okay? Right. You have entered a sacred space. The archangels in the north, south, east and west have their sacred flames burning. Just one thing before we begin, guys. If you are interested in a personal reading, I am open for personals. I do spiritual life coaching and I do healings and cleansings as well. If you are interested in any of my services, my email address is in the description box below. We have a problem with scammers, and I just want to mention this at the beginning of all of my readings because not everybody watches to the end. If you do stay to the end, bless you. But if you don't, that's also okay. It's not for you. If you're interested in getting a personal reading, as I say, we do have a problem with scammers, and so I want to just notify that I don't do bookings through my social media, my Gmail account. I only arrange bookings via the email that I've provided in the description box below. Okay, I think that's all. Right. Let's begin. As I said, if your person is Gemini, this message could very possibly be for you. Male or female, it doesn't matter. Okay. So your person, this Gemini of yours, has been dealing with a certain challenge, a particular challenge in their life for a long time, and they've really been at a crossroads. They've been stuck at a crossroads for a long time, and they have found various ways to fool themselves into believing that they are actually moving, but they're just going around in circles in the area just behind the actual fork in the road. Just because you're running like a hamster on a wheel doesn't mean that you're moving forward. And it is not our place to judge that. Sometimes running like a hamster on a wheel is what we need so that we can organize our thoughts and so that we can re-establish what we want, what we really, really want in life. Your inner being always guides you towards your path of least resistance and guides you towards what is best for you so that you can get to your desire. And this is what's been happening for your person. But they are rising to the challenge with a brand new path. And Spirit is also saying to me that they're delving into new aspects of their intuition. That is the water is not so murky. It's become more clear. Okay. Something needs to be negotiated here. So there are conversations, negotiations taking place in these areas that your person have been playing in, where they have felt that those areas, even though they were safely behind the fork in the road, they believed they might be part of their progressing. And now there is a choice that needs to be made. So there are negotiations that are taking place as to where investments have been made, how they are going to either move forward together or go their separate ways. These negotiations are going to help your person to come to the realization that they cannot take this with them. They've tried to take this with them. They have. They've tried to take this with them. They've tried to move forward whilst holding on to what is very much a part of the past. They've tried to get the most out of these situations that they really cannot get anything out of anymore. And for some of you, your person, this Gemini of yours, is in a relationship and there is a child involved, or children. And those two people, that commitment, they've come to the point where they've accepted that they need to go separate ways. But that's what a lot of the negotiating is about. What's going to happen with kids? What's going to happen with the things that they've shared? How are they going to do this? How can they best serve this new path that they each have to venture upon? They have to accept separation, a form of separation, yeah. Okay. And the solution is very, very clear. So there is a clear solution. The pathway has been lit, even though it seemed very dark and very, very unclear for a long time now. There is this intuitive, like the moon, the strong feminine energy of the moon shining upon the pathway, and they know which way to go, what needs to be done. That's what the negotiations are based on. There's definitely a new direction here. Your person has reevaluated their idea of what success is. And they are reevaluating the relationships in their lives, as I say. And what is just, what is fair, coming to realize that they've not been treated fairly in certain connections and certain relationship dynamics, and that it's, or that they've not been fair as well on relationships relationships that they've been involved in. So even though this phase can come with a little bit of a storm, it is a regeneration of their concept of relationship, their experience within relationship, how they see themselves in relationship, how they feel about various relationships, and they are standing firm where this really scared them. This really scared them in the past, but now they're really standing firm in this. I'm sensing such courage from this person where they might have shown up like a real coward in the past regarding this subject. Okay, so as I said, the pathway is clear. Okay, there's a clear solution to the problems that they are facing. Any problems that used to hinder them in the past when they thought about what they have to do here, these relationships that they need to let go of, that they need to allow more balance into their lives, and that they need to take new direction. They haven't done it. As I said, they've just found other ways to keep playing in the muddy water, or to keep themselves stuck with the belief that it'll move, that they're moving, and that's all that matters. And they're coming to realize that they've been moving, but they've been standing still. They've not been moving in the ways that really count. But it has contributed. Everything contributes. It's something they needed to go through. Okay. So there's a clear solution to a problem, and I feel like these situations that they are now negotiating their way out of, that's not the problem here anymore. They're already lined up with the solution. So we'll get more clarity about what this solution is that they have been seeking, where they now have a clear solution. They are feeling stifled, bored, and stuck, and that is why they are where they are right now, going through this process. For some of you, your person has really been intoxicating and overindulging in something just to numb the dis-ease and the discomfort of the situations that they found themselves in, with regards to this problem that they've been trying to find a solution to. So for some of you, your person has been perhaps drinking a lot more than they usually would, or just overindulging in spiritual material. It doesn't always have to be what you consider to be a negative thing, but it's just an overindulgence to the point where you're trying to fill that gap with noise, so that you don't feel the dis-ease or the resistance of what seems to be missing. I think for many of you, this is about you. And Spirit is saying this person's solution is clear. It is a matter of, the message that keeps coming up for them is, you need to be willing to go, to knock on the door, and to expect that you will be met with and in the heart of Halloween, with a trick or a treat. You have to be willing to embody the energy of that which you consider to be your shadows or your shadow side, and to show up And whatever this person's response is, whether it is a trick or a treat, you just have to know that it's in the spirit of you, of whatever energy it is that you're trying to reawaken. Halloween comes up for me. It's the time of the dead, of spirit. And spirit is what I'm getting from this is, for many of you, your person thinks this thing with you is dead, long, long gone. It's so dead, but it haunts them. And the clear solution that spirit keeps giving them is you just need to be willing to be that skeleton or that monster or that shadow side of yourself that you have been trying to change, rearrange, or whatever. Accept it, show up, knock on the door, and in the spirit of reawakening and honoring that which you believe is dead between you and this person, but is not really dead because it's still there in energy and it haunts you, honoring it and accepting that maybe you're met with a trick, but maybe you're met with some sweetness. Okay. Right, let's see. What is the past energy in this connection for my collective with this Gemini? Healing, the star. Wish fulfillment. You came into this person's life unexpectedly. They have spent a lifetime searching for, hoping for, longing for healing, longing to connect with themselves in the way that they know is authentic, that they believe is true, longing to connect with someone else and meeting with themselves in this deep and profound way, feeling love, feeling whole. This person felt whole for the first time in their life when they met you, being in your presence. This is a very, very deep divine connection, and this is definitely a twin flame connection for many of you. They met themselves in a way that they hoped and believed intuitively, but never ever got to experience in this life, and they doubted it, and then they met themselves for the first time, being all that they are and loving it in the resonance that is you and the connection, feeling healing, feeling empowered. So what is it that is blocking this? Yeah, definitely a marriage, a commitment elsewhere. Now, it could be, I'm seeing right at the beginning, I did see, Spirit showed me that there's a family dynamic, someone with a kid. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a marriage, it can just be a form of a commitment. But it could also be family expectations, religious differences, cultural differences, those kinds of things. For many of you, though, this is a commitment in the form of another person, a spouse perhaps. That's what's blocking. Because this person has been so obsessed with doing the right thing, with being responsible, with living up to a ideal, living up to status quo, not disappointing, putting other people's needs before their own. And you know what happens when you do that? You still disappoint, you still hurt those people, because it doesn't work that way. You have to make yourself and how you feel a priority. And yes, I am saying that you need to be selfish, self-full. You have to fill your own cups. You are not being in your truth when you are doing things that do not line up so that other people can be happy, so that you can please other people, so that you can fulfill a particular ideal or expectation, so that you can earn people's trust and respect. You will lose it every time. Why? Because the trust and the respect that you should be earning is that of your inner being, of yourself. And then you attract it in those around you. But you've got to stop looking for love, for respect, for appreciation, for fulfillment, for satisfaction, for abundance in the wrong places, in people outside of yourself, in situations outside of yourself. It is an inside job. Your person has caused themselves a lot of pain. These have been hard lessons to learn. What you don't know is that they've come out of this energy where they've wrestled. Okay, so with you, for many of you, you guys have not been in contact. This connection was unexpected, and obviously for many of you it ended up in you separating and going your separate ways, because, as I say, your person believes that this is dead and gone, but energetically it's not. And how they've coped is, Spirit is showing me the fork in the road again, and behind that fork you've got two separate sides with a road running in between, right? On this side there's this happening, and on that side there's that happening, and they've played in those two areas, and because they've moved from one area to the next, they've told themselves, I've made a change and I'm progressing. That's what they needed to do. But they've never forgotten about the fork that's there. So to make peace with the choice that they made to keep playing and running on these hamster wheels here in the background, with fooling themselves and with the lie that they're actually moving, they've had to make the fork, those pathways in the road, they've had to demonize them. They've had to make them bad. They've had conversations and asked questions about these pathways, and with the people in their lives they've discussed all the horrible things that can happen and what they believe about it and the terrible things they've heard about it, so that they can validate why they didn't take the path that keeps pulling at them, and that path is you. When I talk about a fork in the road, it leads to the same place. It leads to you and everything else that is part of their desires, their deepest desires, their joy, their bliss, their abundance. So they have had this warfare in their heads about you, where part of them would remember all the beauty and what makes sense, what their soul knows, and the ego would come and break it apart. Bit by bit. That would give them a sense of peace, that they've made the right decision, that they've done the right thing. What you don't know is that in a conflict, there was so much in a conflict that eventually it merged and it became one. And now, there is only truth. And that is why they've been asking Spirit for a clear solution because in the attempt to eradicate the pathways so that they don't have to think about it because it's so bad, they threw a bunch of rubble there, they burnt the bridges, they destroyed it, so you can't even see the pathway anymore, but the pathway's still there. So the clear solution is, you're just going to have to go down it and hope for the best, and hope that you that you find it. Clear whatever you can and hope that you find it. So that's where the solutions come in. Because they've definitely gained new perspective about this. That the what the egos constructed it with regards to you, that they made so bad, and that they got, and some of these people that helped them, that they had these conversations about how bad that path would have been for them, just wanted them to stay where they are so they could use them. And those are some of the relationships that they are now realizing were not what they thought. So they're questioning even the things that those people said to them about you. Okay. So I'm going to ask a specific question, guys. I want to know, what is it that this Gemini thinks of my collective? What is it that this Gemini thinks of my collective? Thank you, Spirit. They think that you are still fighting with them. That you are still, that you still have conflict when it comes to them. That you've not forgiven this. They know intuitively that there is still passion, because they feel it. But they believe that you might have done what they've done when it, like, to you, which is what I described earlier on, where you have constructed all these horrible things about them to make that, and that you don't want to deal with them. When you think of them, there's just conflict. That's what they think. What is it that this Gemini feels for my collective? So this Gemini feels so much passion for you. They feel so much inspiration when it comes to you. They feel like, in their heart, they feel that things must work out. They feel confident. They feel like you're one of the best things to have ever happened to them. And they're afraid that they threw that away. And that they will never be able to have the outcome that they should have had with you because of what they've done. And their unwillingness to see this path for what it is. Their fear got the better of them, and they allowed it to just take them. What is it that this Gemini deliberately hides from my collective? Yeah, they hide that they are grieving, that they are heartbroken, that they watch you and they long for you, and they cannot move on and beyond this offer of love that came into their lives and that they just spilt and ruined. They hide the fact that they are heartbroken and that they are sad and that they regret it and that they often find themselves in tears. Is this Gemini, what is it that this Gemini plans to do? We know what Spirit is guiding them towards, but what is it that they plan to do? This Gemini plans to mature so much emotionally, find such emotional independence and fulfillment that they can offer you a strong emotional foundation upon which they and you can build your wishes, your desires in love together. This is the Ten of Cups. Your person plans, sure. I'm feeling a lot of emotion. This person loves you so much, and you love them. Your Gemini plans to love you forever, even if it means that you never forgive them. Even if it means that they never are able to find that path that they so desperately destroyed. They plan to love you forever and to carry you forever as that one person. Sitting on that pedestal, on that throne, in the castle that is their heart, even if it means that they have to move on. They've come to realize that nothing that happens, nothing that you do, can ever destroy their perspective or perception of who you are, how they see you. This person puts you on a pedestal, they adore you. So, I want to look at what the outcome could be here. What is the possible outcome here? During the month of November, what is the possible outcome? Okay. So it looks to me like for many of you, okay, good. I was wondering if any communication would come through. For some of you, this person is going to stay in this energy during this month, and they won't actually reach out even though they really want to. But for many of you, you will receive communication. They actually will reach out. Passionate communication, expressing to you all of this, if they have the opportunity. I feel like this person will feel you out first and foremost, and then when they get a feeling that you are ready to receive what it is that they really need to share with you, then they will share it with you. That's what I'm getting here. Beloved, this has been your message regarding your person, information, answers to some of your questions. I trust that you've enjoyed the reading. If it resonates, please let me know how. Do what is best for you. Love and light. Take good care of yourself. Love yourself first, and I will see you next time. Bye now.